I'm Kippi from KippiAtHome.com. Welcome to my home and to my channel. Today we're going to get right into making a tree stand for your tree. They're perfect for an artificial tree. They are boxes. We're making them out of scrap wood. So if you have some scrap wood, it's going to be practically free. So let's get started.
Okay, how you doing today? My name is Patrick and I'm with KippiAtHome.com, and today we're going to make a box to use for our Christmas tree stand. Anyway, so I'm going to use some 1x4, kind of a rough cut looking stuff. You can use whatever you like, but I'm going to make my box so it's finished 8x8. And so we're going to do, I already pre-cut some boards here. I've cut these into 8-inch tall sections, and I cut them to width, so I just cut them so they'd be the width of 7 inches, and then by the time I add my trim and everything, it's gonna be approximately 8x8. So first thing I'm gonna do, I cut these trim boards to 1 inch wide, and I cut it the length of the width of this, which is about 7 inches. So I'm gonna apply a little bit of glue. I'm gonna use a 1-inch staple to staple them together, and I'm gonna staple them from the inside so you don't see a lot of holes. So I'm gonna staple my trim board to the front and the back, or the top and the bottom. So I'm gonna make it level with the top. That was the air compressor kicking in over there. Anyways, so I got level with the top, level with the edges, both ends. And I'm gonna use my staple gun and put a couple staples in it. You can use brad nails. You can just use regular nails itself. Just always make sure you get a nail short enough that doesn't go through, all right? And now I'm gonna do the bottom edge and nail that one in place. Level with the bottom, level with both sides. There we go, got one panel right there. Oop, got a little glue on there. We're gonna paint these, so I'm not too concerned about it. But if you were gonna stain them, you'd probably wanna sand them all first, and then make sure you didn't get glue everywhere. Or you can stain all the pieces first. So we're gonna make one more panel. Like I said, this is a 1 inch by the width of the, whatever you decide your board's gonna be. So these are right at 7 inches. Now I'm gonna stick them up there. What you do is, if you stick them on top like that, you get a little bit flatter surface, and they go together a little bit better. You have to challenge with it. And there we go, and line them up, as you can see there. Nice and level with the side, top, the top edge. And when you get done, you can sand them and clean them up a little bit if you're a little bit off. And the bottom edge, you can see I got a little rough there, but like I said, we'll go sand them up. We're not gonna put a bottom in it, but we're gonna actually cut a piece of 4x4 at the end and bore a hole in it that'll fit the bottom of an artificial tree. So now we're going to join these two together, and we're going to do, because I'm going to put a piece of trim in the corner of 1 1/4 inches wide, like that. So I'm going to lap the corners like this, and then I'm going to do the same with the other next panel, and then we'll put them together. So we're going to come off the edge a little bit and line them up with the edge there. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue there. Oops, I probably didn't need to put it there. Just on that edge, and I'm gonna line them up, and so I'm just gonna use this board here just as a spacer to make sure I'm level with the front edge, which I'm pretty close there, I think. I'm gonna nail into that edge. So I've nailed this edge here, and I'm gonna put a trim board in it. So once I got the trim board in, it looks like that. And I also put another trim board in to cover up the nails, and I'll show you that in just a moment. So we're gonna assemble this so we get a rectangle, or not a rectangle, but a square. So I gotta go this way. There we go. So now I'm gonna nail this edge into here, and I'm gonna nail this edge into here. So I'm gonna put a little glue there, and a little glue there. Use my board for my thickness to make sure we got it lined up good. And the bottom's out a little bit. I'm going to correct that. There we go. And we'll come to this edge and do the same thing. Use my thickness board to get a good thickness on there. And one more time down here. That's a good spot. And if you need to, tip it up on end like that. It gives you a little bit more control. There we go. All right, and so it's pretty square. All right, so like I said, we're gonna put a trim board on it to cover up that edge. And let's cut one. So that's the height. You can either measure it or you just put it there and draw yourself a line. And I'm going to use a different nail gun for this. A little bit smaller nail, won't leave as big of a hole. And you can probably just paint right over it. Or you can use a little bit of wood filler, but it won't take as much. So it's just a 1-inch brad nail. There we go. And now I'm going to cut a small strip right there, the thickness of the board, for a filler strip right here. So let's get that. And you might want to cut it a little bit long just to make sure it's, and you can always cut it smaller. Glue in there. Like I said, if you got a little bit of lip or whatever, you can just sand this off with a belt sander or sand it up and clean it up. Right, so that's the gist of it and the edge there. So, and if you want to make it more decorative, you can put a cross or a plus or some other, maybe just cut out a little tree and put it there in the center. A little design. So that's pretty simple. Let me finish this up real quick. We'll take a break real quick and then I'll finish this up and then we'll go to the next part. All right, we're back. We're gonna finish putting the trim boards on. Like I said, we're gonna use a small brad nail. And I cut some small pieces to fill that in. And like I said, if you cut them together and then if you got a little uneven edge or whatever somewhere, don't worry about it. Just take some sandpaper or belt sander or whatever you got and even them up. You know, polish the corners off a little bit and clean it up. And that's easy enough. And we got one more corner left here. Got the right board? Yep. I made these, the vertical ones, a little bit wider to cover up the full width here. So if you want them all the same, you're good. But if you didn't make them all the same, it's all up to you. And glue is not a requirement, but it just helps hold it together a little bit. It gives it a little bit of stability. All right. So there we have that. And like I said, this seam, you sand this up, and this seam, once you paint it, will cover up any imperfections there. But it's a little rustic right now, but like I said, a little sandpaper, belt sander, clean that up. Alrighty. So anyway, so the next thing, if you want to, you can put a trim board in it at an angle. You can just do a single crossbar. You can cut it again and put an X. Or you can embellish it with a little Christmas tree or something like that. Or maybe even a reindeer. Put something on different each side. Put a tree there, put a little reindeer there, whatever. And there you have it, a basic box for your Christmas tree. Artificial Christmas tree. I don't think you probably put a real one in this one. This is really pretty small. And you can put an insert in here. Okay, we're gonna take a break real quick. I'm gonna go cut a board for an insert, and we're gonna bore a hole in it so we can put our tree in it. All right, so I'm gonna make my insert for my tree. Here's my Christmas tree. It has about a 1-inch base on it. So I'm gonna bore a hole in the plate. I cut a plate that'll fit the inside of the box, and I also got a piece of 4x4 that'll give me my height I want to get. I want to get about 6 inches, I believe, so I can stick out of there and almost cover the bottom of the tree to the top of the box. So I'm gonna shoot for 6 inches. All right, we'll cut our board. I'm in -3/4 for my plate, so I'm gonna cut this at 5 1/4. I'm going to use a straight edge to find my center. I'll mark in the center here for my bore. And there. And I'm going to center this, just eyeball it, doesn't have to be perfect. So, in fact, it can be caddy corner if you want it, kitty corner. So we're just going to make it like that. I'm going to drive 2 screws into it to hold it in place. Bore both things at the same time. And you can use a smaller bit if you need to, or a screw. This is a pretty good size one, but it definitely is not going to go anywhere with these screws. Didn't miss. All right, and we'll drill the hole as deep as we can for the bore for the thing. And if you don't have a Foster bit or Fastener bit, which drills a flat hole, you can use a spade bit. And you'll probably get a little bit more depth out of it than you will this. Yep. Let me go get an electric drill. I'll be right back. All right, we got our power drill now, electric drill. And like I said, here's a spade bit. It's a little bit different. It's called a spade bit. And I got a Foster bit here. All right, let's give that a shot. See, it should fit right in there nicely. It does. Whoops. Fits in there pretty tight. And if you need to give it a little tighter than that, you can. And if you want to put a base on the bottom also, it might give you a bit more stability if you need it. But here's the thought process on it. Whoops, I need to go a little deeper, don't I? So let's drill that a little deeper with the spade bit. Get a little bit more height out, or depth out of it. It's got a longer shank on it. As you can see, it's a little bit more turbulent with the spade bit. Not as sharp as a Foster. So let's give that a shot. Yeah, that's a lot better. Alrighty. And we'll slide it into our base. There you have it. You got a nice little tree thing, and you can put the cross. Oh, I lost my cross piece. So like I said, you can put a decorative tree in it, paint it, whatever color. You can stain it, or put a crossbar in it. And that's how you make yourself a Christmas tree stand for an artificial Christmas tree.
All right, that's a great project. As you can see, you can make that box any way you want, paint it any way you want, stain it. It could be farmhouse all the way to elegant. So I also wanted to mention that I will put links to everything below, and that would include these beautiful stockings behind here. I made those, and I can give you the pattern for that. And we'll be uploading about the ladder, so you can do a blanket ladder, and they're perfect for Christmas stockings and anything. And it'd be beautiful in the winter as well. And then the tree behind me, I made all the ornaments in an earlier video, and I can link that below too. So we'll see you back on the channel. We're doing, the next thing we're going to be doing are some beautiful bows and wreaths. Merry Christmas. See you soon.